Welcome to the Agents of the Roundtable Wiki Community AMA. Every Monday at 7 p.m. UTC, we discuss Secret Network and its applications with guests from all around the network. This is an audio recording of the AMA. We hope you enjoy.
Shall we start this with... Oh, there we go. And you'll have to imagine a good intro because the intro is right there before the recording. Shall we get started with Redacted Club? Dizzle, do we want to go there first?
Yeah, we've got a great lineup for everyone today, so I'm sure that's why a lot of people are tuning in right now. We've got Brown Rabbit from Redacted Club. We're going to talk to Papa Bear from Midnight Teddy Club. And we're also going to talk to Oscar from Alter and Pat from IBC NFTs. So let's get started with Brown Rabbit. Lucas?
Let's do it. Yeah, Brown Rabbit, thank you for taking the time to be here. I'm excited. I have a lot to share from my personal experience with what Redacted Club has done to promote education and add value to community. Introduce yourself and let you know about Redacted Club, maybe a little bit roadmap you guys planned.
Hey, Lucas, I think you started cutting out for me. I'm not sure if that was the case for everybody. Could you repeat that?
Yeah, it was. It was. Thanks.
How about now? You guys hear me now?
Still lagging.
It's the damn Lizard King.
Leggy.
That pesky Lizard King.
Hey, so I have in out, and do you want to jump and just get it on? I don't know what's happening here.
Probably
Yeah, absolutely.
Overlords are trying to contact you, man.
So, Brown, I think he wanted you to start off to introducing yourself and your role in Redacted Club.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me. Happy to talk a little bit about Redacted Club. So, for those of you who don't know, we launched Redacted Club about a month ago. Well, actually, almost 2 months ago now. We are a PFP project that kind of also is wrapped around what I think the real value is, which is our community. We minted on December 4th, and there's 1337, although one has been burnt. So 1336 rabbits. And yeah, my role is as one of the founders. There's 3 of us founders, so White and Black Rabbit couldn't join us today, but I think what I focus on mostly is on more of the art and vision and community side of things. So working with the incredible Peaches, who's our artist. So working with her in terms of like executing the vision of what we want our art to look like, as well as thinking about community initiatives and marketing and just kind of where we want to take Redacted Club as we move forward.
Awesome. You know what? On that topic of community initiatives, when earlier Lucas and I were kind of discussing a little bit about this, and I know Lucas wanted to touch a little bit more on it because he thought this is one of the great parts of Redacted Club that you guys are doing a great job with is in this bounty that's currently happening in Redacted Club. Could you tell us a little bit more about the bounty tasks that are community oriented?
Yeah, absolutely. So I wish I had this to list up, but we basically, the way we thought about it was we wanted to find ways to actually engage with the community. Though it's great that we have an active group chat, but we also want to put the community to good use in terms of like empowering creators as well as supporting the Secret Network in whatever way we could. So we designed tasks that we thought would achieve those types of goals. So whether it's on the art side, so that's kind of letting people be creative and showing their chops of what they can do. Whether that's on the lower side, so writing backstories for the rabbits, and what's nice about that is as we kind of write more of the story for Redacted Club, we kind of flesh out more of the details with community input. So that's another way to kind of foster that communication. And I think probably the most concrete way you see this is in our more in our tasks that are more geared towards education. So things like writing about the Secret Network history or writing about NFT use cases. There's just so many talented and like smart people who are part of our community, and we want to leverage their skill sets. So we thought by incentivizing them through this bounty program, we could get them to help us and help the broader Secret Network community onboard more people into the network. So that's kind of like a taste of what we were trying to achieve with this bounty program.
Yeah, I mean, we know Lucas, he'll be back in just a moment. He's done the YouTube videos, and he said that this has actually helped him a lot, kind of branch out and start doing a little bit more of what he's been wanting to do, motivated by this educational aspect of the bounty task.
Yeah, totally. And I'm a firm believer too that you don't really, to really learn or understand something, you got to be able to teach it. So I think that's another nice side product of this, by having people taking the time to think about how to explain something to somebody who doesn't know, the basics of Secret Network. We really get a much better understanding of what Secret Network actually entails.
So, with your experience in secret NFTs and creating, I mean, Redacted Club is a pretty well established secret NFT, I would say. Could you tell us a little bit more about what happened today?
Yes, of course.
I'm sure a lot of people tuned in, probably curious, and we've seen, some tweets and things like that.
Yeah, definitely. So, I can't go too much into the technical side of the vulnerability, just because that's like not my area of expertise. But at a high level, there's a parameter that's, when one set, allows somebody to edit the public metadata of an NFT token that they own. And that exploit was used such that somebody could buy like a floor rabbit and then change, the link embedded in the public metadata for that NFT, such that Stash would then display the wrong rabbit, and people could get defrauded because they'd be buying a rabbit that visually looked rarer than it actually was. So that's a big issue. And I guess for context, we're gonna write a big we're gonna write like a postmortem of exactly what went wrong and how we're fixing this. And we're gonna have our fix probably released sometime tonight being Eastern time. Black and White Rabbit are not here because they're hard at work making sure that everything looks good on that front.
Yeah, and we appreciate you, having you here, because under the circumstances.
Yeah, of course. But just to provide a little bit more color, and for transparency, we were actually alerted about this vulnerability about a week ago. And at that point, we kind of had to make a cost-benefit analysis, which was, do we want to push out something really, really quickly, but not get the time to test the fix? Or do we want to take a few more days, make sure the fix was safe, and then push that out? So we've been working on this fix actually for a little bit of time. And the reason why we chose to actually delay the fix was because we had a couple of reasons. Number one was that at the time, only a handful of people really knew about this issue. And number two, if and when this issue did get exploited, we knew that we could always just lock the contract to really, contain the damage. And fortunately / unfortunately, by delaying our fix, we were right in the sense that as soon as the vulnerability was exploited, we were able to contain it to just one fraudulent transaction, and we're working with the affected party to, we're going to compensate them. We're going to make sure that we make good on them. It's not their fault. So, don't worry about that as well. But long story short, we have a fix in development. It's going to be released likely tonight, and all your bunnies are safe. And yeah, we're sorry that this happened, and we obviously it's unfortunate and it's an inconvenience, but yeah, it is what it is now.
So I mean, a few notes to take away is, there was some comments that I've read and I agree with, about the quick action that was taken once you knew about it. And I mean, it just happened today, and you already mentioned that the fix will be out probably later tonight, or within 48 hours. So that was a quick response. And I saw that there was like some teamwork there with Stash as well, to work on that. And the other beautiful thing about this is, it's an experience that if it happened to these NFTs, it could potentially happen to other NFTs, new creators to the network that want to launch with secret smart contract NFTs. So the postmortem is going to be a really great resource for the community going forward, and secret NFTs.
Can you guys hear me now?
Oh,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
that was loud and clear.
Oh, sweet. So before we move on, I know I missed a little bit, but I just wanted to thank you, Brown Rabbit, and the team over at Redacted Club, because having been involved in crypto, maybe a lot of people might not be able to appreciate this, but that bounty program and what you guys do to promote education for Secret Network goes a long way at not just adding value to the community, but really creating accountability and a nice incentive structure to help people, be better at what they do. It's incentivized me to be better at content creation and more focused and disciplined and organized with how I reach out to other people. So I just love how y'all take the DAO and use it to add value to the network with these programs. I think it's unique, it's far out, and I think it's innovative.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And just one thing I'd want to follow up with there. I know people love to talk about utility when it comes to NFTs, and I think I've probably mentioned this in some form before, but I think utility is something that's not very well defined. It could be monetary, it could be, entertainment-wise, it can be whatever it is. One way that I think we clearly define a use case of utility for our NFTs is the community aspect. So we believe by buying into Redacted Club, one way that you get utilities, you get to be a part of this mission where we actually get to support Secret Network, we get to support privacy, we get to teach people. So if that's something that interests you, along with all of the other fun stuff that we get to do, and along with the great community of people you get to meet, I highly encourage you to get involved with Redacted Club.
And was there any other stuff on the roadmap? You probably already covered it. Dizzle, you could take charge on this one because I know I had to bounce out to reset my computer, but I'm glad I'm back. And I know
no worries. We went into it pretty deep already. But the roadmap would be a great way to follow up with Brown Rabbit about some of the plans for later this year.
Yeah, totally. We launched our Q1 roadmap, I guess at the beginning of this month, and we're still on track for that. We're gonna have our some of the things on the roadmap were like our multi-sig for the validator node and the DAO, and we're on track for all those things. One thing that we didn't list on our roadmap, and if you've heard me speak before, I'm a firm believer of under promise and over deliver. So one thing we didn't list on the roadmap, which we're going to be working on and hopefully releasing soon, is a partnership with the Secret Agents program. And I think I mentioned this in the spaces last week, but we're going to be starting something called what we'll call the Baby Bunny program, where for people who are being onboarded, for people who are being onboarded onto the Secret Network, we want to give them an opportunity to learn how to mint an NFT, how to use the NFT tooling on the ecosystem. But we want it to also be kind of a rewarding experience. We don't want them to mint a blank square. So we're working with Peaches to actually build a baby bunny redacted rabbit. So it'll literally be a baby bunny. And the art's pretty cool. And the idea being we'll have a series of quest lines that'll culminate in you being able to mint one of these baby bunnies for a pretty small nominal fee, like one secret at most, something in that price range. The point of this is not to be like a big revenue source for us. It's really just we believe in the flywheel where if Secret Network thrives, that will also bring people and attention towards us, and that helps us thrive as well. And as a nice corollary to that, by having this one secret fee, if we can get a lot of people to mint that, and as part of that they get to learn about Redacted Club and learn about the Secret Network, those fees, so let's say it's 10,000 of them and each of them is one secret, we're going to use those for the community fund for the Redacted DAO. So that's just another way we can build our war chest so we can continue to run different community initiatives and just do whatever we can to make Redacted Club and the Secret Network ecosystem the best place it can be.
When you were saying that, I was imagining children in school learning about smart contracts and making NFTs on Secret Network.
Yeah, I mean we're we're not there yet, but why not? Right? In the future, that's totally if this tech becomes as pervasive as we all think it's going to be, then maybe one day you'll be minting baby bunny NFTs in kindergarten.
Is anyone in the audience for some questions for Brown Rabbit? We'd love to hear from.
Sure. You can go ahead.
Oh, can I?
Yes.
Thanks. All right. So, how far is your community evolved, and what kind of perks as a Redacted Club owner can I have? I mean, I'm on them as well because I'm supporting you guys as well. I owe one Redacted Club too, so.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. And just to kind of frame it for everybody, the question really is like, what does the Redacted Club community look like today, and where's it going to go? And that's kind of like the core question that we think about for all the decisions we make. We released like a long form roadmap where we talked about how we think about like what initiatives we take on, and they're all kind of geared towards like how do we make the community the best place it can be. So I mean, when you think about the evolution, it's only been like a month or two, so you know, it's still super early. But I mean, I think I've said this before too. Like one of the craziest like aha moments for me was, you know, when I wake up and I go into the Discord and I see that overnight, like people are actively talking in our verified rabbits chat without like admins or like mods having to like initiate a conversation, but people are just hanging out. I think that was like one of the coolest moments where I just realized that, hey, we kind of have something special here. If you're not in the verified rabbits chat, another thing we've been doing, I think we just had our second one or third one. We now have like a Redacted Club happy hour, but happy hour, where once a week, you know, we just have some people, we hop onto a voice call, we just talk about stuff. We have a drink. You know, you don't have to have a drink either. It's just more of like a fun, casual environment for us to talk. And it's just so cool seeing like this kind of stuff organically evolve. And kind of on that vein too, on the notion of like organicness. One of the coolest things too is just to see like the amount of talent that we have in our community and themselves taking their own initiative to like make art and write music and, you know, make videos for the community. Like I know we mentioned this bounty program, but even outside of that, before we had this bounty program, you know, Dizzle was in our Discord making memes. Like I don't know how you made so many memes a day and how you didn't run out of things to make memes about. But we just have people who have so much talent who are just, you know, putting in their own time and effort into, you know, making the community as colorful as possible. And again, like that wasn't something that we incentivized explicitly, but the fact that these kinds of things are emerging is really special to us. So that's kind of where the community is right now. And to answer the question like where we want to go, that's, you know, also TBDs. We're kind of figuring it out as we go, but we really want to just like strengthen these types of things. We want, when people come to the Secret Network and they say, hey, like where should we be, you know, which community do we want to join? Who do we want to ask questions to? Like what's a safe, fun, and, you know, friendly place to join? Like we want Redacted Club to be that name. We want people to know that when I think about this Redacted Bunny, like this is, you know, this is just a fun and warm place to join. So we're going to keep putting out initiatives to make sure it's a fun place. We're going to keep putting out initiatives to make sure that people get to know each other better and like really strengthen this bond. So that's kind of where our thoughts on the community.
That's awesome. I think that's a good segue to kind of Dizzle. I know you're going to take over this because you've been talking to Papa Bear, but this is another NFT community and team that's collaborating to do some really, really awesome things for blockchain and crypto. And I'm kind of doing an Easter egg spoiler for their NFTs coming with a subscription to a very unique protocol that we'll get into. I don't want to take it all over right now, but maybe we can talk about what Papa Bear and the Midnight Teddy Club are doing.
Did you say Easter eggs? That sounds cool.
Papa Bear. I know he's in here. I see a couple of people from the Midnight Teddy Club Discord. Appreciate you guys being in here right now. There's
He says he's muted. Maybe he needs to unmute himself. I didn't mute him.
The bear is hibernating.
The bear. He says, "I my unmute's at the bottom. I unmute myself. I don't know if there's a way. Can you unmute him?"
He's unmuted now.
Oh, sweet.
awesome.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Perfect.
Hi guys.
Papa, good to have you in the chat. Is
Yeah,
this
good
like
to
your
meet you
first
again, Dizzle.
is this like your first public talk for Secret Network?
Yeah, I'm super nervous.
You're among friends, nothing to be nervous about. We're all good.
No.
For our audience members who are not really in the Discord or know too much about Midnight Teddy Club, maybe give us an overview and introduce us to the team.
So the Midnight Teddy Club is just it's an NFT project built on the Secret Network. It actually originated as another project called Fossil Friends, which Scott from Alter was involved with, Lumi was involved with, and Zyphia from Trivium Nodes. But we got some way down the line with that, and the artwork come back, and we didn't really like the artwork. So then Scott sort of introduced me to Oscar from Alter Dap, and we decided we wanted to collab. And we were just brainstorming ideas of what we can do for a project, and we wanted an item that everyone knew, and if they see it, they'd know, oh, that's this, or that's a teddy bear. But then we also wanted to give it sort of a dark undertone. So we sent some concept ideas to our artist, and he come back, and I shared the ideas with the team, and everyone seemed to like it. So we sort of just took it from there, and then yeah, it just spiraled from there.
Why don't you give people an idea of what you mean by dark undertones?
Okay, 2 seconds. So yeah, some of the teddies are going to be like carrying weapons, and a lot of them have got different types of attributes and traits and stuff which you wouldn't really think for a teddy bear to have. Sorry, you can hear that I'm nervous.
You know, I remember the first few teddies that I saw, and I was like, "Whoa, these are dark." I think maybe we had a private chat where I might have mentioned that to you, actually.
Yeah, I've
heard
seen
you-
quite a few. You've seen quite a few that other people haven't, because we've had quite a few one-on-one conversations, and it's been great getting to know you and sending you these ones over.
So tell us.
Oh, pardon me.
Go ahead, Lucas. No, go ahead.
I was going to say, I heard you mention Alter, and that's kind of the segue I was kind of excited to get you to talk about, because if people, you know, many people here are familiar, but if you're new to Secret Network or the NFTs or what separates it, then some of the things that he's casually mentioning are actually some of the biggest deals going on in blockchain in crypto right now. And part of what you guys are doing are collaborating with Alter so that people that have an NFT actually have access to actually their own account for private messaging. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, that is correct. Well, once you're gonna mint an NFT from the Midnight Teddy Club, you're gonna receive 1 year of subscription with your NFT. So basically, what's gonna be in that information is that Alter ID and also a temporary password. So use that to log in onto the Alter platform. And then, of course, you generate your keys, you save them, on your side, and then you can, of course, change your temporary password. And for example, if you mint 10 Midnight Teddies and you got like 10 profiles, then you can inform me, and I'm gonna transform into the lifetime subscription. So that's a pretty nice perk to have if you want to mint more than 9. So, and if you mint more than one, I mean, with the profiles, either you can organize a giveaway on the Twitter, as people usually do, to attract the awareness to his Twitter profile or something else, or or just make a deal. I mean, it's up to you. It's up to the minter, like what he's gonna do with the Alter profile.
I love it.
You know, since we're on the topic, tell us a little bit more about what that looks like. You know, to mint a teddy, have an Alter subscription for a year. What's in store for this coming year?
What's in store for Alter, right?
Yeah, for Alter. Well,
Thanks.
like, yeah.
All right. Yeah. So in quarter one, so the first and most important task now is for us to finish the chats and channels development. And once that is gonna be launched, so people will be able to create their groups, also to have a peer-to-peer chatting, and also to create the channels with the names, and also have the administrative roles and etc. Like to more invite users to use Alter, and definitely that is something that will bring another like feature that will be well used, because that is actually a small step towards replacing Discord and Telegram for communities. And of course, in the later stage, we want to bring a approach that where you can verify your NFT, and basically you can get into the channel. So basically, for example, Midnight Eddy Club. So if you own one, you can get into the channel with your NFT from Alter. Of course, what we want to set up afterwards is definitely the so-called couple wallet authorization. So we can store the private key and public key onto the smart contract that is connected to your wallet and only accessed by it. So people don't need to always copy paste that private key and improve the user experience overall. And definitely we are creating the public API in Q1. So any Web3 application who needs like chat to be integrated or messaging, it will be then possible. Some of the use cases, so we have one, definitely one of the most popular projects called Dreamscape, who are waiting for the public API so they can connect the Alter chat messaging into their game. So I think because that's one of the games that you definitely need a chatting box. So and another use case is that we can connect with the DEX, so basically, or with the CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap, and then you'll be able to fetch data. So basically, set up notification and receive it on Alter about price indications. So more to come, of course. I mean, it will be dependent on also the future governance roles from the community, like what they're gonna bring and propose about the features. And definitely, we are inviting a developer to help us build more features for the Alter, and that will be sponsored by us from the community pool of Alter token. And yeah, we are working on the native iOS application. Hopefully, by end of Q1 or start of Q2, we'll have the beta version, and also, of course, the Android application. So basically, we'll be the first ones that will be presented on Apple Store and also Google Play Store. So very exciting times.
Yeah, that's big.
I have some questions as well. So yes, I can ask first about the Teddy Club. So how is it gonna work when you buy or sell a Teddy with the Alter memberships and stuff?
So basically, when you sell your NFT, the so-called private metadata still is there, but of course that so-called owner of the NFT will not be able to log in unless you haven't, unless you didn't change the password and didn't create the private keys. So
So when you
the
buy a teddy
original,
bear, you shouldn't expect to get any Alter membership or anything, if only if you mint.
it really depends on the NFT owner. Like if he doesn't want to, there is an unused Alter
shopping
subscription.
for Teddy on Stash, before I buy it, can I know if that owner has set up an alter profile or not?
Basically, yeah.
Gotcha.
So that was the question, more or less. I just want to know how you handle all of that stuff. Yeah.
It seems like it's a multi-tier incentive structure where your initial incentive to get it early and to have it first is to have access to that subscription. But afterwards, it's not the subscription that is what the NFT is all about. There's a roadmap, there's access to clubs and other things that are happening, that just having the NFT will still give you access. So if you already have your own alter membership, if you've got a Midnight Teddy Club NFT, the unique identifier will give you access to that special Midnight Teddy Club channel that opens up. Is that correct?
Was that to me?
Yeah, I threw it back to you to say that while you cannot while someone reselling an NFT might have already used up the alter subscription, the new holder of the NFT would have membership access to that Midnight Teddy Club Discord channel or alter channel or what. So it still has value and perks with exclusive access. Correct?
So an example. So basically, if I mint as the first owner of the NFT, but I don't use a subscription, so that's good. I just list it on Stash, and then the reseller market is you have the option to get the alter profile. But if you use it, of course, the reseller market, when you buy one, the profile will be already claimed. But definitely, I will make sure that we'll make the so-called alter profile available for that reseller market too. So that will be something sponsored from my own pocket inside. So I will make sure that the Midnight Eddy Club stays as a community strong, because our plan of Midnight Eddy Clubs is to create a secret society that is representing the whole Cosmos ecosystem, including, of course, the secret network. So we're gonna be giving out to the leaders of Cosmos ecosystem a Midnight Eddy Club that is representing their chain. For example, for secret network, it would be Thor, for example, if he accepts his lead there. Then, for example, the Sentinel, like CDO, like or Akash. I mean, those are the things that we're gonna be bringing onto the secret society. So that means that being there is not only about community, but also about chances, possibilities, where you can either to support some new projects or help each other, and also to understand how other chains networks can connect to each other, and also to propose a lot of things in that secret society. And I think having all the leaders from Cosmos ecosystem is very needed to be in one place. Plus, not only the leaders they're going to be, but also the so-called opinion leaders who have decent amount of organic followers, and also smaller, medium-sized podcasts, and etc. So we want to have this kickstart community that you have everything in it, and if you're building something, you have all the so-called juice to use inside of that community.
Definitely, and I'm glad you mentioned you touched on your role in Midnight Teddy Club, because this is not just a Midnight Teddy Club alter kind of partnership, but also you are personally involved in the decision making as well in Midnight Teddy Club.
Yeah. Correct.
Have you decided on the minting fees yet?
I think we did.
I believe it's
Publicly.
21 as secret.
It was 21. Yeah.
Yeah.
And how much of it is going to alter? Just wondering. Or is it going to alter at all?
So to alter, it is going only for the covering your messages of the gas that we are using. Super minimal, around 3 secret, I guess it was. Because we need to maintain your possibility to message and also to verify for a whole year. 3 secrets is actually less than we spend, but after improving our side, it will be around 3-4 secret per user that we are expecting.
Let's thank you, Oscar. We want to hear a little bit more from Papa Bear.
Hey guys, I'll give it another go.
There's a question in the chat for you. Will we see more movie teddies?
No, so there's only 30 to begin with, but further down the line, we intend in launching a DAO, and that'll be community governed. So if it's voted on from a proposal, then there's a possibility that there could be more movie teddies.
Since you mentioned the DAO, did you want to say a few details about it for all the Midnight Teddy heads that are in here now?
Let me send you a graphic that you can put into the chat so we can
Awesome.
sort of just send them through. I'll start talking about it a little bit. So initially, we're going to fund the DAO through a validator that we'll be launching, which the Trivium node guys, Lumi and Zyph, will be running for us. We'll be launched further down the line once Stash has released their auction feature. We'll be launching one-to-one traits, which can be used in the genetic reconstruction, which we can speak about in a minute. And 50% of that value will be going towards the DAO liquidity. And there's also the 100% of royalty from secondary market sales will also be going into it. That in turn will then go to fund community projects, launching validators on other chains, which will also return liquidity into the pool, and then an NFT treasury.
That's nice.
Yeah, there's a bit more information on the graphic I sent you. Then
all right, I'm gonna put it in the chat. It looks great. It's so cool that you've already got someone for Midnight Teddy that you're working with, like Lumi and Zyph from Trivium Node, having that experience as a holder or future holder of Midnight Teddy Club. It's cool to know that that kind of experience is behind the club.
Yeah, and that's sort of what we're aiming for. In the future, we want to be able to connect our community with guys that can do the back end and do the smart contract work and the front end work if they wanted to launch their own projects in the future. So that's really what we're aiming for, is to help the community in working towards their own projects and doing bits and stuff for themselves.
We have that graphic coming pretty soon.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not looking in the right place.
Oh no, that's me. That's me. I apologize for the delay. It's coming.
Okay, I have a question for Brown Bunny, I guess, Brown Rabbit. First of all, you're building a DAO, right? Or is the DAO already there? Because I actually don't have a bunny right now. So if it's there, how is it governed, or is it still being built?
It's still being built out. We have unofficial channels that kind of act in the direction of a DAO, such as community votes for different initiatives, but we're still working on formalizing all of that within a smart contract. But the first step towards that is our multi-sig. So
okay.
have 7 people on our multi-sig, and that's like a 5 of 7 consensus for any decisions we make.
And so I guess the question, also the second question is, how are baby bunnies going to like participate in any way in the governance, or are they just not for governance? Because they're going to add to the treasury apparently, but is that profit just going to go to the bunny holders, or is it also baby bunnies going to be a part of that?
Yeah, correct. Baby bunnies is a separate thing, and we don't want to dilute the supply of rabbits. We kind of consider them independent projects. So baby bunnies will not have governance rights within the DAO, nor will they be used to get in the rabbit chat. They're much more just like test NFTs for people to mint. And the funds that we raise through the Baby Bunny program will go straight to the community DAO, which is locked behind the multi-sig. And those will be used to whatever initiatives the DAO sees fit.
That sounds nice, guys.
Yeah, thanks for
Awesome.
answering.
Yeah,
Can
that,
you hear me?
that gets me really excited, the baby buns. If anyone who's in the Discord saw my recent bounty submission of the artwork, there was something similar to that. So that's exciting. Glad you brought that up again.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm here. Hey, I had a question for Patlit actually. I don't know if he's still here. If you want to come
Hey,
up.
hey guys, yeah, I'm here. Ask away.
Yeah. So of course, Midnight Eddy Club and Redacted Rabbits are already on IBC NFTs. But can you tell a little bit about your project, which is going on right now? I think you hit 1K followers like last week.
Yeah, so I've been super active on Twitter over the last 2 weeks or so, and it's growing quite nicely. It's been quite a lot of effort and tons of giveaways, and there will be many more because the goal is just to grow it as much as possible to make IBC NFTs more valuable in terms of providing content. The more engagement there is, the more effort will be put into it. And I mean, the goal of IBC NFTs is to be a 360 NFT hub, basically. It launched 3 weeks ago, so it's still early days. And there's been good engagement from the communities. There's a couple of guys that's been contributing with some descriptions and even some reviews for projects that they like. And that is one of the issues that I had with my own blog, patlit.com, where I was solely providing content, and in relation to everything else that's going on, it was difficult to manage and also difficult for people to contribute. So the way I created IBC NFTs at this point is that people can themselves just apply. It doesn't have to be a team member from a specific NFT, but rather just anyone in the chat that has a favorite NFT. They could go on IBC NFTs, find the project, and then just apply and fill out the form. And then as soon as I got that, I would just update the backend and populate the page, basically. So it's going to be like a collaborative platform is the idea, where everyone can contribute. And it should be free. It shouldn't be any kind of payments for promos or any kind of stuff like that.
Pat, just let us know really quick. There's probably a lot of people in the meeting right now who at some point might have some ideas to contribute to the awesome website. How would they do that?
Yeah, so basically in the top header of the page that is available on any page you're on, there is a link that is apply. And from that, it will open up a Google form, really straightforward. It takes maybe 2, 3, 4 minutes tops to fill out. And that's it in terms of contributing to add a project that is not listed yet. If a project is already listed, you can just find the projects through the calendar or through the Explorer. Last week, I added some functionality about searching one-to-one for NFT projects, different filters, and just kind of fundamental navigational features, just to make it easy to navigate a growing sea of content, basically. So if you have an NFT that you would like to contribute to, just find that and then hit apply for a review. Or if you have a video, you could apply to add a video, for example. And then just fill out the information that's asked for. As soon as I got that, I will try to have a quick turnaround and populate the page.
Awesome. The link is in the chat for anybody who wants to click on there also and just take a look at what he's talking about.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's quite straightforward. It's anyone who hasn't been there should get the idea quite quickly. It's just all about NFT collections. And to provide some more background into the name IBC is that I've been engaging with Secret Network and the NFTs specifically since early November, which is 3 months, which is kind of like 3 years in normal years because everything moves so incredibly fast. And I, along with many others, discovered some pain points around just having a good oversight of what is going on, getting quality insight about what projects are launching and this kind of stuff. So from a user perspective, that's kind of the core problem that I would like to solve with IBC NFTs, just to provide that oversight and insights. And then by writing a lot and engaging in Secret Network over the last couple of months, I've spoken to almost all projects on a personal basis, and I think everyone has this problem where they would like to mint out, right? But there's just not enough demand because our community is limited in terms of numbers, and there's only so much secret to go around in everyone's wallets. So there's this issue about reaching awareness outside of Secret Network, and that is part of why it's IBC, and the goal is to have Cosmos SDK-based projects basically featured there. So it should be kind of a cross-chain selling point for people to explore and find secret NFTs that they might never ever heard of before because they never engage with Secret Network specifically.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the other chains.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think there's between 50 and 100 active projects or something like that at the moment, and there are a couple of upcoming as well. And the reason why I added them so quickly without really providing more content is because they reached out themselves, which is a great indication for IBC NFTs, as the engagement really works and the reach is working. Because I never focused on Terra before they reached out, so them finding their way there and just asking to be featured is great.
That's cool. Would you care to mention which project that was that reached out to you?
So the first one was Silly Willy Luna. It kind of a similar concept to Midnight Teddy Club in terms of the goriness, because they're holding some knife and they're looking to cause trouble basically. And if I remember correctly, it's a play to earn game that's based over there in Terra Network.
Interesting. We've got the infographics from Papa Bear up in the chat box. Papa, you want to walk us through the DAO?
Hey guys. Yeah, so like I was saying earlier, initially we'll be launching a validator, which I think we'd be able to send 30 to 50,000 secret initially to start funding the DAO liquidity. And from that, we'll be launching, we'll be able to help fund community projects, launch validators on other chains such as Osmo, Luna, any of the IBC chains really. We'll be trying to build an NFT treasury similar to what the Anons have done with the Tarantino NFT, but probably not to that extent at first. Yeah, and that's quite cool. I'd also like to mention as well, I sort of had a nervous breakdown earlier, so I couldn't get it in, but the main part of the MTC is also the genetic reconstruction process, which is, in simple terms, is trading 3 of the non-desirable teddies and gaining something more desirable for that owner out of it. So they burn 3 teddies in the factory, and then they'd be able to mint a new teddy, which will be assembled using their chosen traits, or they can take traits off if they wanted and end up with a bear teddy. But similar to rabbits, this is all going to have to be done manually. Otherwise, we'd encounter a similar issue with the public data being able to be manipulated.
Yeah, so this, I mean, what happened today is a learning experience for all projects going forward on Secret Network.
Definitely. Yeah, I agree on that front.
Go ahead, Lucas. Go ahead, jump in there.
I'm just looking at this, and I know that there's another NFT project that's doing some similar stuff that's about to launch. And I just love what you guys are doing at the Midnight Teddy Club and the Redacted Club. The idea that these DAOs are using a pool of their rewards to acquire a validator. I know Clandestina is making that part of their project too, and I think that this is the future of bringing people together in a decentralized way through Midnight Teddy Club, through Redacted Club, through these secret NFT protocols. You can actually have a piece of a validator node and be a part of that security and therefore have the rewards that come through that over time, whether it's filling a treasury for bounty programs and outreach and other stuff, or paying back to like in traditional world, paying back to your shareholders dividends. There's so many things, but it's really flipping the NFT game on its head, because what you guys are doing are you're taking these NFTs and there's a stream of value that's being able to come in that doesn't require people to sell their NFT in order to benefit. And that's uncanny. That's not, you don't really see that. Other people, it's the greater fool's game where they have to hope someone else is just going to pay more for it. And here, there's actually holding on to it like a glass of wine. I mean, it can appreciate immensely in value because as the network grows, it's attached to a growing value of a treasury and other things. So I think that's freaking cool what you guys are doing.
Yeah, kudos to Pat for putting that together. That infographic is really awesome, and especially with that Midnight Teddy Club theme, super nice.
Yeah, you
Hey,
should have
guys.
seen the one I sent him to
Pray
base
to Lord
it off
according
of.
to specs.
Guys,
Well,
just a small comment on the DAO part, by the way. Hopefully in 2 weeks we will have Clandestina on. I'm still or going to contact Anons as well and one other NFT club, and we will be talking about DAOs in NFTs. So they will be telling a little bit more about how you can create one, the difference between the multisig, etc. So if you're interested, 1 or 2 weeks,
awesome.
we will have another one on that topic.
Awesome. You know what? Let me redirect this back to Pat. Because Pat, ultimately in the bigger scheme of things, the website is not just going to be a resource for people that are shopping or want to know about projects as consumers or investors in that project, but potentially as a whole 360 resource hub where developers and people that are looking to build a project could potentially go there to find information about how to do that. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. That's what I mentioned around the 360 NFT hub concept, that it should really cover the whole spectrum of NFTs, not just on a consumer basis, but also on a creator basis. And I already got some traction, but it's kind of behind doors in DMs where I have conversations with different projects that may struggle with different aspects of launching. And at this point, it's purely non-technical because I'm a non-technical person, but more around marketing and different aspects that are more soft, so to speak. But yeah, that's the long-term goal here.
Lucas, from an economic standpoint, the DAO's looking pretty cool. I love the way it's broken down there on the right for what the DAO will be used for.
Community projects, voted on governance validators on other chains like Osmosis, Osmo, and are we looking at the same thing? The NFT trade?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, it's diversification and it's all going back into supporting the IBC, going back to, and I actually am glad because speaking of IBC, that Patrick is here because I'm very ignorant and new to his site and I'm very excited about sharing that resource and learning how to navigate it more. So because there is an interconnected value synergistic relationship between a lot of these blockchains, and reaching out and strengthening osmosis, which makes exchanging into secret and so many other blockchains really so much fun and fast and cheap, and how awesome that works, bringing people into DeFi. So using the DAO to support other chains that also help onboard into Secret and for governance and for other NFT projects. I dig it. I think it's cool. Would you guys also use some of the treasury to support LPs and DeFi protocols to provide liquidity in specific projects? Would that be up for vote or something that would be thought of to do as well?
Yeah, so stuff like that would all be put to vote to the community, and their NFTs would be used as the governance token to vote on proposals.
Nice. Very cool.
You know what? Go ahead. I just wanted to ask Papa for a little fun. Maybe while he's getting ready to answer the next question, you can drop a little surprise for us in the chat, Papa. Maybe something no one has seen yet.
I don't have access to drop anything, but feel free to send in anything I've sent you through. I'll let you choose.
All right, let me go through my album. Someone else was about to ask a question. Sorry for cutting you off.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask. So yeah, since there are going to be like governance NFTs, maybe is all of that stuff also going to go through governance to make sure? So like, you know, having a validator on other chains, that's the plan, but that would still have to go through voting and stuff, I'm guessing.
Yeah, so we wanted to put certain measures in place so that it could run smoothly, but that's just an idea of what could happen. But yeah, it would all be put through governance.
We have a question. We have a question in the chat. I don't have a segue, but if anyone's looking at this, Jamama, can you speak out and elaborate on the snack proposal?
Hey guys, it's a little noisy where I'm at, but hope everybody can hear me okay. Yeah, there are a lot of questions on the snack proposal. Just to clarify, a lot of it is looking at in real life engagement, both for specific projects, but also across the board with secret NFTs. And one of the things that I've been seeing, and a lot of the faces I see in this chat right now, I see in a lot of the different communities, but everybody's trying to do these individual community initiatives, but starting from scratch. And so I was just looking at coordinated resourcing and just communication across the board. And so that's a bulk of the snack proposal. There is a merch question always involved because every community, I think 90% of the chat is when merch. And so in that aspect, I'm really into small and medium sized artists and artisans. And so looking at like a dual purpose of both providing the merch, but also having these artists come on board, either creating their own collections or having a thriving market in the NFT community. And so, yeah, we have a couple in the works already. I released some of the alpha to the rabbits, but I'll be showing more of that later. But yeah, hopefully that's a kind of a quick snapshot of the snack proposal. I know it's a long process, so I'm still open to all comments and suggestions.
It's posted. For those who don't know, it's in the chat to read about it and look what you can do to support it. And I'm definitely interested. I will just say that, man, this has just been one of the most amazing community secret network, the secret community, and what people are doing to support each other and to help each other grow. I heard, was it Patrick say that your Twitter just reached 2,000, or was it somebody else there that your Twitter's growing pretty fast in a short period of time?
Only to 1,300 though.
1,300.
But it's growing fast.
Yeah, I just got over 1,000 too in the last week, and a lot of it is due to the support throughout the community and continuing to keep people abreast of secrets. So, I mean, there's definitely something a lot of things that stand out about what's being built on Secret, but also the people that are making it up, the leadership that are behind the scenes, putting out proposals and coming up with creative ways to add value, and the community members that are finding ways to support privacy and to engage and to participate. It's just really an exciting. I don't actually. Here's what's funny. Having been in crypto for a while, is anybody else doing this? I don't actually haven't looked at prices in a while. I don't look at prices because I'm just so busy researching and building out on projects and learning about stuff. There's so much activity happening that following prices so much is not as, it's not as fun as staying abreast of the tech of the development that's happening, because prices go up and down in the short run, but in the long run, if you're with projects that are going to be around, then you ride those waves.
For sure. I'm sure a lot of us share that sentiment. Jemima, thanks for jumping in there, by the way. I wasn't aware of that snack proposal, and I've got that opened up now. I'm going to give it a read. Appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. I really, it's awesome to see so many different communities on this call right now.
Yeah, we see each other everywhere, don't we? Papa, is there anything else you wanted to mention about Midnight Teddy?
Sorry, guys, I had you on mute. Well, I guess if anyone has any questions or anything, I've probably left a ton of information out.
Tell I know you said that you were going to engage in some pretty hardcore marketing before Mint. What are some of the plans?
So just community incentives, really. We're running a meme competition on Twitter currently. There's another guy called Stargaze Chad as well, and we're running a giveaway through him. We're giving out whitelist spots, so if anyone listening wants a whitelist spot, just drop me a private message and I'll get you added to the contract.
Awesome. Send them your messages.
Yeah, and Oscar's gonna be he's coming up with a list of influencers on social media platforms, which we're gonna try and contact and get them to promote the project.
I do know that one of the most amazing, powerful influencers with huge outreach is going to be giving away a few of them. That's a plug for myself. No, you know what? It's about quality over quantity at the moment for us right now, but we will be offering a few, and I'm excited to be a part of helping reach out people in different communities and offering some spots. So for those who like to be open to opportunities in crypto, we like to share the blessings that come through Secret Network in different ways, and we're looking at ways to share that as well. So excited about what you guys are doing. I love it.
I love having you in the chat.
can
There's
second
always
that.
bringing positive energy.
I listen, you guys have seen me in the chats for everyone that was on the program tonight. I really wanted to be here because we're so active together. We chat every day. So it's great to be on here and actually communicating on voice, and just adding some value to the community, doing these small things like this, which we like to participate in. This meme competition, though, that Stargaze Chad, he posted a really good one. Is he in here by any chance? Is anyone in here, Stargaze Chad? That was a really funny meme about the 100-acre wood with the really messed up Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, we've had some really great entries. We're looking forward to seeing your one.
It's tough to compete.
I message you every day to try and get your entry out of you. You're saving it till the last minute.
Listen, this weekend with the new year and everything, but I've definitely got something in the works. I just posted the Stargaze Chad meme in the chat here for the meeting. We'll be looking forward for those incentives, and hopefully the community continues to grow on Discord as well, and lead up to a very successful mint.
Yeah, we hope so. And if you don't already follow us on Twitter, we'd love for you to come and take part in our meme competition. And we're going to have loads of other giveaways and stuff in the near future. So turn your notifications on.
Yeah, so I have one last question for Brown Rabbit if he wants to. Maybe he wants to explain why there are 1,337 rabbits and not like 1,000 or 1,500. Why this number?
Hey, yeah, happy to answer that question. And unfortunately, this is coming up to my time. I'll have to jump after this, but 1337. I think it's just kind of like a meme number in internet culture. It's like the elite hacker number. And for us too, I think because we're a small team, we really wanted to make sure that we were pushing out a quality art product, and we thought that if we went to like a 10,000 or a number in the 10,000 range or close to that, that'd be a little bit unmanageable for us. So we decided like around 1,000 would be the perfect number for something that we could like ensure the quality of, and 1337 just kind of, you know, in that ballpark, and we kind of point to that as being like a nice little meme. So that's it.
Before you bounce, there was one more question for you, Brown Rabbit. Can you explain to the people the significance of Brown Rabbit?
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty simple, and this isn't the case for white and black rabbits actually, but for brown rabbits, brown is just, my skin is brown, so I was just like, a brown rabbit makes sense, and it's as simple as that.
Prove it.
You don't need to dox yourself. No, you don't need to dox yourself.
Yeah.
And what is your favorite Redacted Club attribute?
Oh, that's a good question. I think
That's a great question.
I think it has to be the blue puffer jacket. I don't know what it is about it, and I don't own any, unfortunately. But whenever I look at it, I'm just like, damn, that's just so well drawn. Peaches really crushed on that one. So probably that one.
You mean the blue puffer jacket, just like my profile picture has, but then on the Redacted Club?
Is that what you have? I see. Oh, yeah, it's similar to the Cats one, except I think it's a little bit brighter on ours. But yeah, the blue puffer jacket's great, and also kind of underrated. But I really like the yellow eyes for some reason. So I don't know. Those are some of my favorites.
Nice, man. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Sorry I had to jump off a little bit early, but feel free to DM me with any other questions or come hang out in the Verified Rabbits Discord or in the Verified Rabbits channel. And follow us on Twitter. Hit us up with any questions. Buy Rabbit, get in our chats. And excited to keep talking with you guys. Thanks, everybody.
Appreciate it, man.
Thank you, brother. I guess we've pretty much powered through most of the guests and the questions. Should we just open it up if anybody has any questions for any of the guests before we kind of wind this down?
Yeah, maybe one thing. I just got out of the train, so let's quickly jump in. Next week, we will have a community AMA with Button Group and Lumi from Trivium Nodes, developer behind many NFT projects, but also the upcoming mixer, similar to Tornado Cash. So if you want to join next week, 7 UTC, we are here, 2 p.m. Eastern time. And you can ask your questions. There will even be a giveaway. Small hint. So I'll leave the floor up to you guys, and see you next week.
Thank you, Erdem. I see Lumi in the chat, and I want to say, like, as a future Midnight Teddy holder, I think it's a huge value add to have your experience behind Midnight Teddy. So thank you for that.
Thank you. I'm glad to contribute.
I'm excited about next week. I look forward to being here. I'll definitely be here next week to learn about what you guys are doing and how I can add value and support it. And also Button Group. I love that yield optimizers, DEX aggregators, all of these things and a mixer. Man, that's huge for Secret Network. These developments happening right now are just so big. I love it. This is just great.
A lot of buzz.
And a drum roll in the background. So, Dizzle, what do you think? Erdogan, are we good on this meeting? Should we wrap it up here pretty soon? Ask questions. Everyone, the floor is open.
Yeah, I don't know. Normally, we have up to an hour, a little bit over sometimes for the guests. Then they are free to leave. You can stay if you want, and until the meeting ends in like half an hour or quarter of an hour, dependent on how many people want to ask questions. People can ask whatever they want about whatever they think is necessary. So
let me
ask
jump in
about
here.
staking, about meta rats, or whatever you want, and.
Let me jump in here for Papa really quick. Papa, just to give people an idea, because not that many people in here. I only recognize a few from our Discord, but there is some information about our teddies. Like, for example, the armored teddies. Perhaps you want to say a little bit about that?
Could you repeat that? Sorry.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit more about the armored teddies.
The robot ones.
The robot ones, yeah.
Yeah, so part of the traits, they're going to have 5 different base body types. There's going to be a standard teddy bear. There'll be a zombie teddy bear. There'll be a robot-style teddy bear. And then there'll be 3 types of imposter teddies, which I'm not too sure if many people have seen them, but there's one with a pug head. There's one with an alien head, and then we've sort of done a collab with another NFT project called Waifu Stole My Seed. I'm not too sure if many guys have heard of that. But they've got a cool...
I don't know if too many people are gonna admit it, but I'm sure there's a lot of people in here that are in that Discord.
So yeah, there's a project I'll send you. Did I send you it before, the collab we've got going with them?
Yeah, a while back. Is that a good one to share?
Yeah, you can share that one. So we've actually done a collab with them as well, which is going to be another one of the imposter teddies. Because I think part of their story is that the waifus actually sneak into their husbands' rooms to steal their seeds within teddy bears. So it worked quite well, and I'm an investigator in their channel now. So. So yeah, it was pretty fun. I think me and Dizzle spent a couple of days trying to figure out what the puzzle was, the 3 categories, but we got there in the end.
Yeah, we needed to upgrade to detective. Definitely, we couldn't stay junior detectives for too long.
Yeah, we're detectives now.
So there's gonna be 30 parody teddies based on movie characters.
Well, not just movie characters, just based on our favorite characters in general. For example, there's a character from a game. There's a character which is based on a TV show, which is actually a real life person. And then there's plenty of movie characters and characters which like mine and Oscar's, and one of them's Lumi's favorite characters.
And those parody teddies will not be able to go through the factory.
No, they won't. So the 3,000 teddies, which will be just like based with the standard base bodies, they'd be able to go through the factory process, but the 30 parody teddies won't.
So if I've got 3 teddies, non-parody teddies, and I want to put them through the factory, there's going to be like a questionnaire or something that will allow me to choose which traits to include in the newly fabricated teddy.
Yeah, so there will be some sort of questionnaire style thing on the web page, which you'll be able to choose from the traits or remove traits and add traits. That then will have to be sent to a separate address, and from that address it will get burnt. A new teddy will be assembled, and then we'd remint and send it back to the original address which burnt the 3 teddies.
Really, really cool. So this essentially, we've lost a few NFTs and other projects, unfortunately, a couple of times because of one mishap or another. But this one will be like truly the first, like deflationary by design project, secret NFT.
Yeah, so it is intentionally deflationary. And when one traits are released as well, that it's been designed in such a way that they'd want to use them in the factory rather than keeping hold of them. So they could be added to your Teddy, say, for example, a new weapon or a new item of clothing or an animated background or something like that was released, and that could then be added on to the Teddy that you own.
Yeah, this is going to be really fun.
Yeah, we think it's a really cool concept. It's been hard work trying to figure out how we're actually going to do it, but we did get to the bottom that it's got to be done manually rather than being able to allow people to do it on chain. Maybe Lumi can touch up a bit more about it because he's actually the smart contracts guy next week. You can ask him about it, how he got to the bottom of how it's all going to work.
I was just about to chime in how it makes me feel confident that he's working on it.
Yeah, me and Lumi are in frequent contact, and if anything comes up, he'll drop me a mention. But he's never like, oh, this has gone wrong, this has happened. He's always like, oh, this has happened, but this is the solution. So it's really great to work with him and Zyve.
I did want to comment one more thing for Pat.
Yeah, shoot. Still here.
Yeah, I mean, we all know you in the community, and you know you're getting out there. The website's growing, the Twitter's growing a lot. Attention is coming to the site. Well, is there anything that anyone maybe listening who wants to support you can do to help the site?
Well, I mean, anyone is welcome to contribute by adding any content to the apply forms. Whether it's a description of a project, it's a review of something they really like, or a promo video that the project might have come up with. So there are different ways a user could just go on there and click the apply buttons and provide content. That would be probably the most useful way, and this will create more flesh on the platform, and it will create shareable pages. So it would make more sense for me to share a project on the Twitter if it has a lot of details on the page. An empty project is not that engaging, so that wouldn't be shared. So that is a way of increasing exposure for the projects that you guys like, basically.
And any support or maybe something that you'd like to see grow, like on the back end?
So backend wise, I am still just myself working with different frameworks and some minor CSS and HTML coding, but nothing advanced at all. Ideally, I would like to build out the functionality of the platform. Right now, for example, Stash has a closed API, so it's not possible to fetch data in a reliable way. The only way to do it is scrape and create some different scripts running and collect data, and then based on that, try to get different values that might be insightful. But at the same time, scraping is extremely unreliable. It requires maintenance, and it's not really good quality that I would like to provide. But I hope that more data will be available from Stash, and through that be able to build out the functionality to provide more insights that is data driven based on what is happening on the marketplaces. And for that, I need developers. So anyone who would be up to helping out and being part of IBC NFTs can just DM me and reach out, and we arrange something.
Awesome. Thank you, Pat. And like what you were just saying, I imagine that being super useful for the website, because gathering that intel and then generating those hot projects that could be listed on the site, as opposed to like hunting or just coming up with your own projects that should be featured as soon as you go on the website. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Right now, that is something I will manage on my own. So right now, what you see on the landing page as featured is a result of laziness. Basically, when I populated the page the first day, I took the projects that I'm very familiar with and the projects I like. So basically, you have Anons, you have Redacted Club, and Ample Agents, I think. And that is completely biased from my end, and it's due to laziness. Right now, I am working on a favorite function. So basically, people will be.
Thank you for listening in on the Agents of the Roundtable Community AMA. Follow us on Twitter at secret_AOTRT and every Monday at 7 p.m. UTC in the Secret Network Discord.